Welcome to Outsourcing Profit Secrets. This is Chris Mazzara here with David Riverall, and we are going to go through how we use outsourcing in our business. Now, first thing I want to explain is what this course is not. This course is definitely not a boring lecture on what outsourcing is. You can Google the word outsourcing and probably find some interesting web pages and information about that. We're just basically going to lay it out, what we do, the good things we've done, the bad things we've done, and how we can save you a bunch of time and money. This is not a course teaching you all of the things that you can outsource. This is going to be focused around the home-based business owner, internet marketer, direct sales, network marketing. And it's also not how you can make money as an outsourced worker. Everything is from the owner side, how owners reach out to hire and utilize outsourced workers in their business. What this course is, it's a behind the scenes look at how we use outsourcing and the different really inventive ways that I've used it by accident, and some of the good and bad stories that David and I have gone through over the past couple of years. This is a course teaching you what to look out for and how to create positive and profitable relationships with your outsourced employees, and how to make money utilizing outsourcing in your business, and how to quote unquote have more and work less by doing things the right way. So the best overall overview of outsourcing, I feel, is the 4-hour work week. Now, have you finished reading this book yet?
No.
No? Yeah, David has no time ever because I take every free moment of his day. This is a really great book on outsourcing. The author Timothy Ferriss has been using outsourcing for years in his business, and it's just a really good overview, and it kind of goes into some details of what he does. And he's not a home-based business owner. He has a real physical business. It has a warehouse and different elements, but he travels all over the world and has different employees handle different aspects of the business for him. So I recommend this book as a great outsourcing manual, kind of like a foundation of like your outsourcing information education. You can pick it up anywhere, AmazonHalf.com. You can walk into literally any bookstore around the world. They even have this in Mexico in Spanish right now. And that's the new version that just came out a few weeks ago. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the psychology of outsourcing. Now, with all the different outsourcing courses I've taken and things that I've read on outsourcing, I've actually never heard anyone talk about this before, and I've actually experienced this myself, and some of you may feel the same way. So this is a really, really important section. It may even be the most important part of the whole course. Now, the hardest part with outsourcing is that most people have never had someone else work for them before. And I definitely experienced this when I graduated from college. I started waiting tables in New York City, and then I wanted to make more money, and so I went into real estate. But all this time I was always working for myself or working for somebody else. And my New York story, which I kind of started already, when I started working in real estate for the first year, I was making a lot of money and I was running all over the city. And what happened was, after a year, I realized that I didn't have any life. I went home and I'd fall asleep for like 2 hours on the couch, and just running up 5-6 flights of apartment, building stairs, going in and out of the subway all day long. I was making really good money, but I'm like, my quality of life is really starting to suffer. So I decided to start hiring agents to work with me, and then I was splitting the commissions with them, and it was a really difficult thing for me to do, for many reasons. I mean, one of the main reasons was, like, I didn't really know what my time was worth. I was, always calculating, okay, if I spend this many hours, I'll make this much money. What I was starting to think was, okay, there's got to be a balance between knowing how much I'm worth per hour, and also a balance of quality of life. What I decided to do, and it was a really, really hard process, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on as well, was, in my mind, I thought I was giving money away. I thought, every time that I got a commission and I had to split a commission, I'm like, oh my God, like, I used to get this entire thing, and now I've got to split it. But then I had to keep reminding myself, you know what? You're in an air-conditioned office all day. You're not running around. You're not going home and you don't have to sleep 2 extra hours. You actually can have a life. You can have a girlfriend. You can have all these different things that I didn't have before. And giving away part of my money, and even though at the end of the year I was making ended up making the same amount of money instead of running around the city, that was still a really hard thing to deal with. Now, the thing is, most people don't know what their time is worth in general. And this is kind of an interesting thing to think about, and also an interesting thing to calculate, because you need to know, like, what is your time worth to you? Not like, this is not an esoteric thing where you're thinking, oh, my time is so valuable because of this, that, and the other. And what you need to do is you need to calculate what you make and divide it by the amount of hours that you work. So let's just say, for instance, that you work 40 hours a week times 50 weeks, that's 2,000 hours. And let's just say that you make 2,000 hours a year. Let's just say you make $40,000 a year. You divide that by 2,000 hours, and that's $20 an hour. Now you have something to kind of gauge, what an hour of your time is worth to you. Because now I'm going to start getting into some outsourcing philosophy and how I think about things when I'm outsourcing work. So if I go to the store to buy mustard and pick up a flashlight at Home Depot, that's going to cost me $20 to do that, assuming that takes me an hour, plus the cost of the items. So that the assumption is that my time is worth $20 an hour, and that I can generate $20 an hour with every hour that I work. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, geez, if I need something, I usually stop on the way to work or the way home from work. But you'd be surprised how many people out there, especially home-based business owners, and even if you're still working in a job, eventually, I would imagine for most of you, your goal is going to be not to work in that job anymore and to start working for yourself. And what's a really hard thing to do is to discipline yourself on a daily basis to only focus on, when you're at work, do work, and when you go home, do home stuff, and not in the middle of the day be like, oh my God, we need batteries for our office. I'm going to go out and take 30 minutes and go buy batteries, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Everyone, especially when they first start working for themselves, distractions become, almost like this invited addiction. These things come in and be like, oh, I've got to go do this, or I've got to go do that. And I don't know, I think the mentality may come from when I was working for other people, I would look for a distraction. I would hope that I would have to do something else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just thinking back about, well, why did I start doing this when I first started working for myself? And I just remember like waiting tables or doing different things and thinking like, man, I'd love to go do an errand right now. That'd be so great. If the boss is like, listen, I need someone to go run down because we're out of Jack Daniels and go buy this or whatever. I'm like, sure, me, I'll go do it. Anything. So, and then all of a sudden it's just like you alone by yourself, like working on your business. And sometimes, like, you have these like little lulls in your day where you're just like, oh, you maybe need like a little recharge, and you actually start looking for something like, oh yeah, now would be a great time for me to go run and do an errand. So that's like a whole other psychological issue that we're not going to really visit here. But I think that's what happens, is that when we make the transition from working for someone else to working for ourselves, we have to like kind of, purge that need and that addiction and that, constant looking for, an excuse not to do the work that we're supposed to be doing because we don't like it. So this is how you can do a basic calculation for figuring out like how much time, how much your time is worth like per hour. So, and the question you need to ask is, can I get someone to do this for me for less money? And this simple little thing we're going to blow up also into the business world. But I just want to show you how this mentality, even thinking about, day-to-day things, in your home life can be really, really important. To view the rest of the videos in this training series, simply go to www.marketingmastery.com. www.marketingmasteryuniversity.com. Again, that's www.marketingmasteryuniversity.com.